boys and girls. My name is Judge Samantha Schosberg Feuer, and I'm so honored to be part of Junior Achievement's virtual speaker series. So I was asked to talk to you a little bit about what I do. I'm a circuit court judge. I'm one of 54 circuit court judges here in Palm Beach County. And what I do is I listen to people who come before me that have arguments or disputes, and I help decide those arguments, kind of like your mom and dad with you and a brother or a sister. It's a really, really great career because I feel like I can give back to my community. I work for the government, and I also am so proud to serve the people of the state of Florida like you and your parents and your family members. So I'm going to take you on a little tour and show you my courtroom. So this is my courtroom, everybody. And this is where the public sits in the courtroom. So the public sits here, and this is where the attorneys would sit, or the people who would argue on the people who are having fights behalf. This is where people come and stand when they speak to me. This is where the witness over here who would be telling me what happened in a specific incident. Let's say there was a car accident and somebody was on the side of the road and they saw it. This is where the witness would be called to testify about what they saw. Over here is where a law enforcement officer or a police officer sits. And then this right here is my bench. So when I listen to people speak, I sit here and I listen to both sides, and I make sure that everybody who comes before me gets a fair shot and that everybody's voice is heard. So what I'm going to do now, boys and girls, is I'm going to read you a little book about the justice system and what it means to be a judge in court. And this book is called Marshall the Courthouse Mouse, A Tale of the U.S. Supreme Court. Hear ye, all rise and draw near. America's mice, with goodwill and good cheer, are pleased to announce and proud to report the opening term of the Mouse Supreme Court. The court now in session is 9 special mice. They're all very smart and they're all very nice. They're all called justices, and their great contribution is to guard and protect the Mouse Constitution. The one in the middle with the bars on his sleeve is the Chief Justice, Marshall J. Mouse, we believe. All justices are equal, but he is the one who makes sure the work of the court all gets done. This court, the High Court, is the one most renowned, but there are other courts too, if you just look around. There are courts in each city and county and town. The mice even have a few courts underground. In all of these courts, a judge is in charge, who sits at a bench, a desk very large. But lawyers and juries can also be here to help judges make every court just and fair. Our laws are the rules that they all must obey to be a good person or mouse every day. The law says be careful when riding your bike so you don't end up hitting somebody you like. Another law says it's not right to steal a book, piece of candy, or automobile. And laws say that everyone must go to school. Don't you agree that's a wonderful rule? But one group of laws stands above all the others, declared long ago by our nation's forefathers, who wrote down on paper through long days and nights our grand Constitution and the Great Bill of Rights. These documents gave us, and you really should read them, a promise to all of liberty and freedom. They gave everybody the freedom to vote, the freedom to worship, and also, please note, the right to free speech and the right to decide how to live your own life, how to live it with pride. These rights are so special, we all must respect them. The Supreme Court's job is to preserve and protect them. It does this whenever it chooses to hear a question or case of a law that's unclear, For disputes about laws aren't all that unusual. In fact, some laws can be unconstitutional. Here's an example the Mouse Congress created. It once passed a law that directed and stated that mice could not eat the same cheese every day. It was a strict law all mice had to obey. It said that on Sundays they had to eat cheddar. On Mondays was Roquefort, which many liked better. On Tuesdays, everyone ate mozzarella, from the smallest mouse girl to the biggest mouse fella. Each Wednesday, Swiss cheese was on every plate. On Thursdays, Parmesan everyone ate. On Fridays, American cheese was supreme. And Saturdays, just Philadelphia cream. But some of the mice had thought all along, this law is confusing and odd and just wrong. Each mouse family should always be able to put any cheese that it wants on its table. But other mice liked the rules, thinking them good. They wanted the cheese law to stay as it stood. So one side against it and one side in support. Who decides? Why, of course, the Mouse Supreme Court. According to practice and legal tradition, the process must start with a special petition that says there's a question so big and involved, it's something that only the High Court can solve. In this case, the justices had to address this difficult question, which went more or less, does the cheese law deny any mice, large or small, their constitutional rights, any at all? To make a decision, the justices start with oral arguments from lawyers, quite smart. Each lawyer discusses one point of view. The justices listen and ask questions too. But justices need more than that to decide. So they have special helpers called clerks who provide extra research and work, and at the start of each fall, the Chief Justice meets with the clerks, one and all. I'm sure you all know the Chief Justice said how important your work is, how much is ahead. But the work may not be as hard as it looks. To help in each case, you should all hit the books. So off to the library they run in a dash, then into the bookshelves they fly like a flash. There are clerks at each desk, there are clerks in each chair, there are books piled up, books and clerks everywhere. This work can take weeks, sometimes it takes months, while the justices study and meet more than once, in private, in conference, to talk and review, to decide on each case what's the best thing to do. In the cheese case, Marshall stood up from the table. Fellow justices, he said, I'm sure you are able to see that this case has a simple solution, for it's plain and it's clear from our great Constitution, that its words and its meaning grant a most basic right, that only allows any mouse with a good appetite to choose the cheese he or she wants for a meal, Swiss blue or cheddar, whatever they feel. This means that the cheese law, I'm sure you can see, must be struck down constitutionally. Here, here, said the others, we consent and agree, and they voted with Marshall, unimousely. To give their decision, the justices next wrote down an opinion. They put their words in text, and by court tradition, what they had agreed was printed on paper for all mice to read. The justices also hand down their decision, announced from their bench with great care and precision. Read aloud by a justice a great declaration to all who are gathered and the rest of the nation. In this way, their decision is spread far and wide. It proclaims the new rules by which we all must abide. Each decision makes sure that we all understand that our great Constitution is the law of the land. And that night, at the tables of mice everywhere, there were all kinds of cheeses to enjoy and to share. Thanks to 9 justices who care and support and protect all our rights at the great Supreme Court. So thank you so much, girls and boys. This was awesome to read to you Marshall, the Courthouse Mouse. And that's what I do. I'm here to protect all of your rights and to make sure that everybody is treated fairly. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.